we're putting the budget for the biennium for the next 2 years together, and I will present that to the legislature as part of the condition of the state speech on January 13th. And then I'll be inaugurated as governor for another term on the Friday of that week on the 16th of January. So with that, let me just open it to your questions.
Okay, great. We have a lot of them. So we'll start out with, introduce yourself. Go ahead, right here.
Hi, I'm Corey Roosh. Why did you want to run for governor?
Well, I had a great 8th grade teacher named Lyra Seawick that taught the 3 R's of good government. You all know about the Bill of Rights, but she also taught about respect for other people and their rights and responsibility. And she just really inspired me to want to go into a career of public service. And so I majored in political science in college. I was in the Army during the Vietnam era, came back, went to law school, and the first chance I got, I ran for the legislature, and then I guess the rest is history. But I've always been interested in public service and government and serving the people, and it's a great honor. And that's the reason why I've enjoyed it, and that's why I came back and ran for governor again.
All right, thank you, Governor.
Thank you.
I'm Katie Schneider. What does it feel like to be governor?
Well, Katie, it's a lot of fun. You get to meet a lot of people. I go to all 99 counties each year. I also lead trade missions at foreign countries and I just came back last week from being in New York, calling on a number of insurance and financial services companies, some of which are already doing business in Iowa, and others we're trying to recruit to bring more good jobs to our state. So I really enjoyed the opportunity to meet with a lot of interesting people. One of the people that I met with is a gentleman who is a very close friend of China, and Iowa has a special relationship with Xi Jinping, the president of China, because the first trip he made to America was here in 1985 when I was governor before.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Aaron Gutierrez, and what are the challenges of being governor?
What are the challenges?
Yeah.
Well, you have to balance the budget. And that's not easy because there's a lot of people that want to spend money on all kinds of things, but you can only spend, well, Iowa Constitution forbids the state going into debt. So we have to make tough decisions in balancing the budget. Also, you have the responsibility to sign or all veto all bills passed by the legislature. So you have the responsibility to put the budget together, sign or veto bills, appoint literally thousands of people that serve on boards and commissions, and also choose department heads to help you run the departments and agencies of state government. So there's a lot of responsibility, and as the chief executive, basically the buck stops with you. That means that you have to make a lot of tough decisions on things you sometimes don't have much control over.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Maria Gumon, and what do you want to do to improve Iowa?
Well, I've really focused on bringing more good jobs to the state, increasing family incomes, and also we're working to revitalize and improve our education system. We passed a major teacher leadership program that rewards teachers for taking on more responsibility to improve the academic achievement of Iowa students. We also have the goal of we want to become the healthiest state in the nation. So, and I'm trying to lead by example to get exercise and eat right and not use tobacco products and all the things one needs to do to lead a healthy lifestyle. And we need to encourage all Iowans to really take ownership of their own health.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is AJ Lyons, and how do you respond to negativity?
Well, I think it's important to always keep your cool, and regardless of if somebody says something negative or nasty, not to react, but instead to try to not take it personal, but really try to respond in a factual way and do the best you can. So it's not easy, but it's important to keep your cool and not get mad.
Thank you.
Thank you.
be right there.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Mia Savito, and I wanted to know what kind of job do you want to make to help Iowa?
Well, we really focused on STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. And a lot of the really good jobs of the future are related to that. And it includes everything from information technology. And we've been able to attract companies like Microsoft and Google and Facebook to the state of Iowa. And we also are working on adding value to what we produce in agriculture and a lot of new products are being made, everything from obviously feed and food, but also pharmaceuticals and nutraceuticals and other products that can be made from the corn and soybeans that we raise in Iowa. And it takes people with expertise in math and science and engineering in order to be involved in those very important industries.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tatum Dickey, and I was wondering what your opinion on immigration is.
Well, I'm all for legal immigration, but I do believe that we're a nation that believes in a rule of law, so we need to expect people to abide by our laws. I want to see us try to improve our immigration laws so it's easier for people that come to this country, say as foreign exchange students, and get a good education, be able to stay and have jobs in Iowa and in the United States. But I also believe that it's important that we enforce and encourage people to only come to this country legally.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's the best part about being governor?
Oh, I think the best part is all the neat people you get to meet and the places you get to go. I've had the opportunity to go to virtually every state in the United States, visit several foreign countries, places like Europe and China and Africa and Russia and places like that. And there's just a lot of interesting people. I met everybody from Pope John Paul II when he was the Pope in Rome to the governors of all 50 states, the last 6 presidents of the United States, and several foreign leaders as well. So you get to meet a lot of interesting people and also a lot of nice people all over the state of Iowa as I traveled all 99 counties.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Governor, I have a question for you.
Sure.
So one of the things that myself as a teacher, I believe that we can learn a lot from our young students.
Yep.
And I don't know if you have any questions for our 8th grade students that you would like their input on any topic or issue that you might want some young minds to share some ideas with you about.
Well, one of the things I find is young people know a lot more about technology. And obviously we're doing this interview, via, Skype. So, and I would just like to know what kind of things that the students think that we could be doing as a state to further opportunities for them, especially in the using technology. I know one of the things that I'd like to do is what we call connect every acre, have high-speed internet in all parts of Iowa. But I would like the students' input on their suggestions and ideas because I find young people know a lot more about technology than people my age.
Great question, and we actually spoke a little bit about that. So I'm going to see if any of the students want to share their opinions on that topic. So
Okay.
based on our conversation, we've talked a little bit about the technology in our schools. Does anyone want to address that issue? Here's your opportunity to share your opinion about how we can make our technology better in our schools. Does anyone want to share? They're being a little shy.
Things that you think would be helpful?
One of the, I'll share based on our conversation
Sure.
because we did talk a lot about this, and we live in West Liberty. It's a kind of a unique community, and they have friends, in Solon, Iowa, and West Branch, and Muscatine, and a lot of their friends are what's 1-to-1. They're on 1-to-1.
Yeah.
So they have all their own.
They all have their own computers.
They all have their own computers.
Right.
And a lot of that, might have to do with that school's financial ability to afford that. And so we talked to, about the inequalities when you have, you know, poorer districts versus richer districts, and how to make that more fair. So that was some of our conversation, and I think that, you know, that is sometimes a frustration to these students because they are going to school, right, you know, their neighboring schools are, you know, maybe a little further ahead in technology. And so how would you suggest someone addresses that issue?
Well, that's a great question, and as you know, the idea of the one-to-one computer for a student is something that's starting to catch on across the state of Iowa. It's just really happened in recent years, and the schools that are doing it are different sizes in different places. But it's something I think you need to probably talk to your school board about. There are different ways to finance that too. There's different levies that are available, and I do recognize it. And we need to continue to work to try to better equalize funding across the state for schools. Historically, a good share of education was paid out of property tax. We're trying to reduce our dependency on property tax and provide more state aid. And we changed, for instance, from allowable growth to supplemental state aid, so that the new money that comes to schools is not coming out of property taxes, but coming out of state aid entirely. And we think over time that's going to help us to better equalize funding for our schools. But I think your point is a good one, and we need to, in fact, the legislature had a committee meeting yesterday looking at issues like technology funding and transportation and some of the areas where we have disparities that need to be addressed.
Well, that's good to know that it's on the forefront, and I would offer up, anytime you would like student input on that, you could contact us here at West Liberty. I think that our students are very interested in moving that forward and helping, you know, equalize that opportunity to all.
Right. Is Bobby Kaufman your representative?
No.
Who represents West Liberty?
Tom Sands.
Tom Sands represents West Liberty.
Okay, I know Tom Sands. He's the chairman of the committee that, he's the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee that deals with taxes.
Okay, and that brings up something else is, we talked, like, if students want to share their, you know, their ideas,
Yes.
what is the best way that they can do that? If they would like to, you know, make it more known and get more politically involved in decision-making, even in 8th grade, how would you suggest that they would go about that?
Well, I remember what my 8th grade teacher had us do. And that is, we used to have to go to city council meetings and then write reports on that. When your legislators have town hall meetings, be an opportunity to go there and express your opinions on those. Lieutenant Governor and I travel the state as well. And certainly and maybe we can even visit your school at some time. This is a great opportunity right today, even though, you know, because I don't have to spend all the time on the road traveling to Eastern Iowa to be able to have this conversation. But I think it's important to look anytime there's an opportunity to get involved, and that means going to public meetings and things like that. Sometimes that'll be on weekends because legislators will probably be in Des Moines most of the week, but oftentimes I do have the town hall meetings and other appearances that you could visit with them when they come to West Liberty or they come to other communities in your area.